Buff Nation.
Let's go.
You.
And now it sounds like a crashing plane.
It's like a siren. What is up, chat? Welcome into the DNVR pregame show for Colorado versus Arizona. Last home game of the season.
Man, where's
boys.
the season gone, man?
I don't know. It's not great.
Kind of depressing.
It really is.
3 games left, 1 at home, 2 on the road. This is the last home game at Folsom this year.
Yep. The exciting part is we're going to hit all 3 spots. 1 at Folsom, 1 at the DNVR bar, 1 in Salt Lake City.
It's true.
That is profound and very accurate.
It's going to be great.
Hey, and when we're back here next year for the home opener, August 31st, North Dakota State, there'll be a new Jumbotron up there.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Is that exciting for you?
That is exciting because sometimes I look up there at it and go like, hey, we could do better than that.
Yeah.
And now we're doing better than that. It's like someone read my mind.
What's crazy is, like, it wasn't that long ago that they actually upgraded that screen. Now, it probably really was that long ago, but in my head, it doesn't. Like, I think it was when I was in college.
Yeah. You know, those video boards have, of course, 50-year shelf life. The problem is technology moves light years ahead every 5 years. So you got to keep up with the times. And I think the size of this one, the technology, like, puts it in the upper echelons of the Power 5. So that's something to look forward to. After we finish this last home game tomorrow, we got to come back to a new Jumbotron, man.
It's true. Also, when we go to Salt Lake City, you might need these. Alyssa, would you hand those to me? I have a gift for you, Neely, from our friends over at Hestra Job Gloves. So there you go. There's one pair for you, 1 pair for Coach Prime.
I will make sure that he gets them, his pair at least. I'm going to, yeah. I love them.
You get shit done with those, bro.
Yeah.
You do get shit.
Those are working man's gloves.
Uh-oh. Shouldn't have told me that. I try to avoid work.
I should
I should see how these would work.
Those fit nice.
Yeah.
We're presented by Game Time. Everyone download the Game Time app. Use the promo code BUFFS, BUFFS. Get $20 off your first purchase. Unc, the big story, I guess, of this week, we talked about it yesterday, but Taylor Upshaw, former Buff, here for, I don't know, a cup of coffee, I guess.
Is it even fair to call him a former Buff?
I
Did he ever take a class?
I only call him that because you called him that yesterday.
I did. And then I thought about it when I was, I obsess over our numbers and our comments and all that stuff. So I'm going, and I kept seeing that headline, and I was like, I feel like I gave him too much credit calling him a former Buff.
I think you did. I think a lot of those guys, he was, I think, in Michigan first.
Yep.
So left Michigan, came here, was here, was it even 90 days? I mean, like spring workouts, and left before the spring game. So, or did he play the spring game? He left before that, huh?
I'll find out.
Either way, never really suited up or took a snap for this team, and for him to, take a shot at QB1, opinions assholes. Everybody got one, so God bless him in his opinion. But I don't think that anybody in this building is making a big deal about it because it's more so like who.
Yeah, for me, I like the idea of them getting that edge back, having a reason. I thought about it. Someone said, like, Colorado loses every time they say it's personal. And I thought back, and I said, no. They were 2-0 in games where it was personal.
Who said who? No,
Someone
it's the complete
on Twitter.
opposite.
I know, exactly. But if you remember, the first time they kind of underperformed was against Colorado State, and it was like, oh, did they get too deep into the it's personal thing? I think it probably just has more to do with the fact that Travis Hunter got hurt.
Yeah.
But in the end, I said this yesterday, I like the idea of them just having a little bit of extra juice. Like, I agree with every person who says the offensive line shouldn't need extra motivation, but we're all human. Like, we've had a day where, something happened that just motivated you a little extra. You got a little more work done that day. You pushed a little harder in the gym. Whatever it is, like, we're all human. Little aspects of motivation do affect you.
And I think in as much as that is true, we have to acknowledge the other side of the coin that distractions impact us. We also like to say, oh, man, I'm not bothered by that. I'm not paying attention to that. Anything that you spend any time talking about or doing other than focusing on what you should have been doing is by definition distraction. One thing I'll say about this locker room, I don't care, because you see people in the chat complaining about Coach Prime's guests. Oh, the celebrities are a distraction. One thing about this team, if they fail at something, it ain't because of the damn distractions. Like, they are accustomed to that. And same thing with people taking shots at them. They are accustomed to that. Will they be an offensive lineman, who steps up a little harder and tries to shut Upshaw up? I hope so. But I also think we're going to have a defensive lineman that tries to go get their quarterback and stand over him and say, little boy. So it's yin-yang,
Fired me up.
But I will say this. Who?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody here even remembers the guy enough to be motivated or bothered by something he says.
What do you think Shador thinks about the whole thing?
I know he doesn't remember him enough to be bothered.
But I would be bothered if anyone said that about me. No one I've ever heard if they called me little boy.
But put yourself in Shador Sanders' shoes, too. Bless you.
Thank you.
This attention and his name being called by people who want to become famous has happened his entire life.
Yeah.
And so what a Upshaw kind of guy's doing is exactly what we're doing. He wants us to acknowledge his existence because while he was here, nothing existed football-wise. I saw his stats there at Arizona. Man, great season. Rock out, man. Going to do everything we can that you don't eat like that here, though.
Jake, I just turned this so I can read
sorry.
it.
I was like, why is it?
I was curious if the chat saw me doing it. I just snuck over there and turned it and then looked at the chat and smiled.
You like Trump in those meetings, he would just keep moving the water.
Please don't ever compare me to him.
Oh, my God.
I feel it. I feel it from Shador. But at the same time, I want him to go out there, have like a zone read keeper where he scores and Upshaw makes the wrong read, and then I want to see him flash the watch and it's like that. That type of shit gets me going.
Well, if he plays like he played in the spring, he will miss a read.
All right.
He joined CU, or I guess entered the portal beginning of January, committed to CU on January 15th, entered the portal on the 26th. That is the Wednesday after the spring game.
Okay.
So
I don't remember if he played in the spring game, though.
Was that 4 months, 3 months?
He definitely –
I don't remember him at all.
Yeah.
No, I remember his face. Because, in the D-line room, Sal's room, I sit in the back and their names. I remember the name Upshaw. I remember his face. I remember him being kind of a quiet guy, so that was surprising that he chirped. But I don't remember if he actually played in the spring game or not. But I'm like, RK, I don't think he was here long enough for someone to refer to him as a former Buff because he didn't play.
Yeah. I remember him making one play in one of the spring practices we were at, and I was like, oh, yeah, Taylor Upshaw. And we obviously had high hopes for him, coming in from Michigan.
Oh, absolutely.
But didn't work out. I think he has made a mistake. And our guy Adam Munster-Tiger, who normally avoids this type of stuff.
I know.
Hopped in
I know.
and just said something to the tune of Jed Fish has to be upset with Taylor Upshaw for giving Colorado bulletin board material.
You have to be.
Well, Jed Fish had comments, I think, last week about it. And basically said, we don't want to give him anything. We want to focus on the game. So literally exactly the opposite of what Taylor Upshaw did.
And that's what I was saying as far as distraction goes from our players versus theirs. They seem to be more bothered in managing what was said than we do. It ain't causing nothing over here, but it's causing stuff over there. I think that historically people should have learned by now, whether it is the NFL or Major League Baseball or college football, man, just don't say nothing about the Sanders before you play them. Shit, just be quiet.
Because real G's move in silence like lasagna.
Bang.
I should get an assist on it. I should get an assist on it.
I love it.
Yeah. Ding. No, you got Jake. Shit. Yeah.
What's practice been like this week?
Man, I hate to say this, but I love to say this. The last time I saw us have a practice over the course of a week this good was the week before TCU.
Okay.
You're just gonna be excited, yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, really, man.
I'm ready to be heard
the grasp of the concepts, the organization and flow of the installs, the energy, people being where they're supposed to be, time, meetings. I mean, all that stuff. It going into this game felt like going into TCU. Felt like a week one. And I think a lot of that is the guys, again, we're talking about distractions and chatter stuff out there. Man, they know how many games they've lost in a row. They're sick of it too. Mm-hmm. And this is your last home game. If you can't get up for this week, man, fold the tent, go home.
If you can't get up for this, get some Viagra.
And go to sleep. And we all know I don't sleep because sleep is the cousin of death.
Okay, all right.
Coach Prime, I mean, we saw on Well Up, he shouted out Cormani.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like he's kind of coming along, and the praise went beyond the story, I think Coach Mathis told. It sounds like Cormani's really just matured a lot lately.
And that's what you want to happen. Let's look at this thing chronologically. The guy got here from high school in late June.
Yeah.
All right. It is now November. It's about time for that kind of praise to be happening if you look at what kind of growth should be occurring. Mm-hmm. So shout out to Cormani for earning that accolade. Shout out to the coaches for giving it to him. But it's on schedule. You know, we talked all the time early in the season when people were asking about, hey, what about Cormani? What about number one? He's here. Why aren't we playing him? He was a true freshman and wasn't there yet. And now as you get to the back half, the end of the season, he is where you wanted him to be at the right time. So I don't want to call it like night and day as if he was just doing horrible or something, but you can totally see the growth in him when he walks around the building, in meetings, in reps. You know, he's growing, man.
And what was the story that Coach Mathis told this week about essentially like him joining the team for some gassers?
So, I mean, you could probably clarify, but the team has like these races and they have the team split up into what side they're choosing. And I guess Cormani usually would just walk off if he picked wrong. But now he's actually going to do. I mean, it seems kind of trivial, but I guess
it's freshman antics. You know, given an option to do something.
Sounds like something I would have done when I played.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's what you do when you're 17, 18 years old. It's like, okay, I don't have to do that, and I was going to be on the side that lost. I'm gonna hit the locker room.
One time, our coach was so mad. It was like the first practice of the season, and I forget what exactly led to this, but he literally turned to everyone and said, he would normally say, like, give me a lap, give me 2 laps. He just said, I want you to fucking run until you drop. So I literally ran like 20 feet and then just dropped to the ground. And he was so angry. Yeah.
And then you did what he said.
Well, then he walked over to me and he, like, tries to make it seem like he's not talking to me. So he's like kind of stands near me and just goes, you're smarter than the rest of them.
That's hilarious. How's Shador doing this week? We know he's banged up. How's he looked?
You know, he understands. Can I use an NBA term?
Sure.
Load management. You know, he understands the rest days for practice weeks, and that's something that's been going on probably since middle of the season, where you won't see him in pads every day, you know, because he's still recovering from the game. And so he had the necessary time off to heal up. And I even asked him one day at practice, I said, man, so like for you, I'm not talking about the trainers, the head coach, do you prefer the rest days or prefer, you know, to practice body-wise? And it was pretty much, I'm going to cut the conversation down. It's pretty much, you know, both ways. Like, it's because I liken it to like a sprained ankle. Sometimes it gets worse when you're off of it, you know, but if you stay on it.
You got to keep it like warm.
Yeah, you keep it warm, keep it going. So he acknowledged, like, some days I need off because I'm hurting, but I do get it. There are other days I wish I was practicing because I stay loose.
Yep.
But when you get to this part of the week, you can't tell the difference between him not being banged up because he had the proper rest. But there's no way he can come off games with 6 people, 250-plus pounds landing on him. That's not counting the other knockdowns, just getting banged to the ground 17 times, you know, on the ground, then go right into Sunday, Monday practice.
And I hate to look too far ahead here, but it's even more important to protect him this week because you're on a short week.
Yep.
And
it's a travel week, so it's extra short week.
That's what I was about to throw in, man. It's not just a short week. Like, it's one less because you got to travel. And so y'all remember last time we played on a Friday night, it rolled into the bye.
Yep.
So you had this, extended grace period.
Right.
Now we play on a Friday night, and it goes right into a game. I'm skipping ahead, not this game.
Yeah.
It goes right into a game. So coming off a game, going right into that game, it's going to be, it would be nice, man. How nice would it be to be up so much in the fourth quarter here at home, the final home game of the season, that Shador gets to come out the fourth quarter?
It would be amazing. Although after what happened against Stanford, I don't know if they would ever do that.
That's true. It's very true.
Like, even if we were, do you risk it? Like, maybe you do it if they score out, you got to go back.
Yeah.
That's a great point, RK. So it's, first things first, got this game, but the next game is a Friday night on the road.
You know how, like, have you seen the trend recently about girl math?
Yes.
I haven't. Educate me.
It's essentially like
I wish
like if
Alyssa had a mic
something's
to
like
explain this.
$199, it's $100. Is that fair? Like,
Wait, 199 is 200.
no, $199 is 100.
I still go with 2.
Okay. Well, give me a girl math example.
No, the what was the one you used about like buying concert tickets down the line? So it's like technically I already spent that money, so it's not really. But then I got this.
Like my massage membership.
Yes.
I pay for it monthly, but I don't see that I paid for it.
So it's free.
But when we were in LA, you used girl math. Because you went down the street and something was like 50% off, and you're like, "Oh, that's like free for us."
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, it's not." Like, it's,
It could be 2% off, and it's a good deal.
So here's my man math.
all right, give it to me.
Next week is a 3-day week because the Broncos play on Monday and the Buffs play on Friday, and those don't count as real
Wow,
days.
you're right.
I like your math, man.
I love it.
3-day week coming up.
I like your math.
Shout out,
That's boy math.
shout
Hey,
out
boy.
to our friends at Game Time.
Nothing like Game Time, man.
It's sold out again.
So what are you going to do?
So you go to Game Time
You download the app.
and you enter the promo code BUFFS. BUFFS.
No. You create an account.
You create an account and then you enter the promo code BUFFS. And then you get $20 off your first purchase. I used Game Time earlier in the week to go to the Nuggets game on Wednesday. It's super fast, super easy.
Did you see the view from your seats?
I did.
That's killer, man.
Yeah. It was a great night at Ball
Because you're
Arena.
not a fan of an unobstructed view.
No, you can't be.
Yeah.
Although one of my favorite Twitter follows recently is that you know what I'm talking
Obstructed, yeah.
about? The Twitter account that shows worst like stadium seats in America.
That one too, yeah.
It's so good.
Some of them are just insane, man. I think this has got to be Photoshopped.
It's
There's
wild.
no way they put a ticket behind that wall.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was. It was literally you could only see like the 20 to the end zone.
Yeah.
You couldn't
Yeah.
see 80 yards
Bro,
of
that
the field.
happened to me in a press box.
Really?
Yes, Chargers when they were playing in the soccer stadium.
Oh, okay.
They were playing in the. You think I'm old enough to be in the press box at Qualcomm?
I don't know.
Uh,
I don't even. When did they leave?
I am.
I actually don't. I probably am. I don't. It feels like ages ago, but I don't think it was that long ago. I was sat on the far end of the press box, and I literally couldn't see from the 30-yard line into the end zone
my
from my
God.
seat.
You were the birth, the genesis, the idea, the spark that lit the flame behind NFL Red Zone. You
Yes.
sat there and said, "You know what? There's a market space for this."
It's just
I
on
only
the
wanna
20
see
and in.
this.
That's all I need to see. But with Game Time, you can avoid all that shit.
Yes, sir. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code BUFFS, BUFFS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code BUFFS, and get $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. And then shout out to our friends at Olipop, the delicious
I wish
new
I had some
soda.
lollipop right there.
Yeah, man, you're running low. We should have brought you some. You a cream soda guy?
I'm not a cream soda guy,
Well, how
but I would
about
love to try it.
classic grape, orange squeeze,
not-
Why'd you start with
strawberry,
grape?
vanilla,
Come
cherry
on, man.
cola,
You know that. I'm
classic root beer,
Hey,
or vintage cola?
You're talking about a brother from Mississippi. We don't do flavors, we do colors. I want red.
So there's a red one. I'm
That's
pretty
right.
sure.
Give me the red one, man.
Okay. We'll have to bring you some red Olipop.
I
next
want a
time.
red Olipop, man. I don't care if there's cherry, strawberry, fruit. I want a red Olipop.
Is that Chappelle Show skit?
That's a Neely life skit. Like, this is a true story.
But also, is it also a Chappelle Show skit?
About 15 minutes ago, give or take 5, you asked me what flavor was my Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Do you know that red came right here? And I said, no, I'm talking to Jakey Poo. I got to tell him cherry.
My God.
Red. But that could be strawberry,
It
raspberry.
doesn't matter. I just wanted a red one.
The other day, I asked Pat Surtain, notably on my shirt, if he watched Chappelle Show because A.J. Brown was asked to name the top 5 corners in the NFL, and he could only name Pat Surtain. So I was like, I gave you the Dylon treatment. Top 5 corners, PS2, 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 and PS2.
Dylon,
But
fire.
that, based on his reaction, he said he did watch Chappelle Show, but based on his reaction, I don't think he did.
Appreciate the update. Coming out the tailgate tomorrow and drink some Olipop, or we'll have illegal Pete's as well. I
You going to tell
believe.
us where the tailgate is?
Where is the
Benson
tailgate?
Field,
There
same
you
place
go.
as last week. You going to come this time, Neely?
That's a good chance of that, man. It's a good chance of that. I like it.
I have to say, we started at the bottom of the hill, Now we're at
We're
the
just
top
working
of
our
the
way
hill.
up.
Yep.
Started at the bottom, now we're here.
Use the code DNVR20.
You could say we went from negative to positive.
You can get 20% off your next Olipop order on drinkolipop.com. Olipop can also be found in over 22,000 stores across the country, including King Super, Safeway,
good.
Walmart, Target, Whole Foods, and Sprouts. All right. Talk about this game.
Let's talk about the game.
This team is ranked
I'm
number
trying to
21.
focus. Allison won't stop texting me. She said, I got your red Olipop. I don't think she means something to drink, though.
That's real right there, bro. The Arizona Wildcats enter this game earning the number 21 ranking in the country in the latest CFP poll. They have been on pretty much a heater.
Not pretty much.
Well, I mean, Dre calls them the hottest team in the country.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre?
Yeah, Dr. Dre.
Literally and figuratively
Yep.
coming from the desert.
They beat UCLA by 17 last week, beat Oregon State by 3 the week before, had a massive win over Wazoo before that, and then the overtime game to USC. They stand at 6-3. Noah Fafita's the quarterback. Jaden Delore got hurt, I think.
He got Wally pipped. So he got hurt, and then
Next man up.
Fafita came in and was not relinquishing that thing because he's been playing incredible ball for a freshman. Is he a freshman? True freshman?
Yep.
Sheesh.
In 8 games played, completing 75% of his passes, has 14 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, started each of the last 5 games. They've got some beasts at wide receiver, man.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob Cowing was the guy we talked about last year, but Tedero McMillan, number 4, is I believe he was a 4-star freshman last year, and this dude he's got size, speed, everything, makes crazy catches. He's got 750 yards, 7 receiving touchdowns. This offense is lethal, but defensively, we talk about Taylor Upshaw and all his sacks, but they played really good defensively this year too.
I mean, you beat the 3 teams in a row that they've beat coming into this game. You have to play well everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's what they've been doing. To me, Fafita is kind of the catalyst who took them to another level, which is just so rare. It is so rare for, I would call him their star quarterback. Your star quarterback gets injured, and your true freshman quarterback comes in from behind him and elevates the team. That is very, very rare.
Extremely rare. Unheard of kind of rare.
Yep. And to me, that's been the biggest reason why they are playing it the way they have. But if you go back and look at their schedule, they are 2 close losses from being in the college football playoff discussion right now. Like right in the heart of it.
Well,
because they lost close to USC and they lost close to Washington.
And then they only lost to Mississippi State in week 2 by 7 in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Fact of the matter is, we're playing a damn good team.
Straight up.
Yeah, straight up. But, I would say this, rewinding all the way back, if folks will care to go back to our August shows, which I hope you have a better life than that. I always felt, whether you're fanboying or not, I always felt that this team had 6 wins in them. You and I talked about that, which is why we all hopped on that ridiculous Vegas bet early, because we knew we were going to win more than 3. Well, having said that, we got 4. 2 of my remaining 6 were Stanford and this one. We tricked off Stanford. We got this one left. And 2 after that. We got to have 2 to go to a bowl game. I know I'm jumping kind of ahead. I still like our matchups, because you talk about their strong receivers. We got a strong secondary.
We do.
Defense is known for takeaways. I think we got a quarterback on their side that we can get after that kind of thing. Having said all that, this is a damn good team we're playing. They're better than their rank. But, when we were in the 20s, we were better than we were ranked.
This team's only allowing 19.8 points per game. That's 27th in the country. They've held
26
in points allowed or points scored.
Yeah, scored.
Points for 30.7.
30.7.
46 in the country. But Arizona has held 4 opponents to under 10 points. That's their most in the same season since 2010.
Who are the teams?
Off the top of my head, Northern Arizona.
That's not the top of your head.
No, it is off the top of my head. Washington State.
You should have said off my thumb tip.
Off the tip of my thumb.
Yeah, right here.
Oh, I think it sank 4 in 2010. Sorry.
Wait.
They've held the most opponents in a season under 10 points this year since 2010.
Oh.
And that year they held 4 opponents.
Gotcha. That's a misleading stat.
I know.
Not your fault.
Kind of is, but not.
But defensively, I mean, they give up passing yards. 72nd in the country, 232 passing yards a game.
Need that.
They don't really turn the ball over too much. 12 turnovers.
But I'll say this, Jake. The teams that we are successful against don't come in here turning the ball over.
That's true.
You know, that's one of the things I think is impressive about this defense. Sometimes you have stats where it's like, are you playing somebody that turns the ball over 4 and you get 3? We've been playing people that turn the ball over 1 and getting 4 and getting 3. So if this is a team that's known to turn it over and they're playing a defense that's known to take it away, we just got to get points off the turnovers, man.
They've turned it over 12 times. 5 of those turnovers came in week 2 in that loss to Mississippi State, though.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to turn them over. That's another reason why they're playing so well. They don't do it. But this defense has shown ability to do it. And I think that if you can get consistent pressure on Fafita.
Jake's lean forward is taking away our beautiful eye contact.
I know.
So I've just been looking for you all show. Where you want to go? You want to go behind him or in front of him?
Stop.
Pause. I'll go back here.
If you're going to win this game, like, you're going to have to get a couple turnovers.
Got to.
And you're going to have to protect the ball. Now, our offense has done a fantastic job of protecting the ball this season. And I just –
What's Shador at 3 turnovers? I mean, interceptions?
Yeah.
And he's got a fumble as well, but just interceptions.
Just interceptions, 3.
Yeah. And one of those was 2 of those, actually.
You could make the argument that only one of them was his fault. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
The
what I'm
Stanford
saying.
one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yep.
the Stanford one. The Stanford one and this recent fumble where he is.
Yep. It's pretty crazy. So the fact that they give up passing yards is the single best news for Colorado in this game. And, you know, you the guy who you retweeted who has the win probabilities.
Yep.
I would guess that's the reason why he has Colorado as like a 44% win probability, is because they want to pass the ball. Arizona's not very good at stopping you from passing it. With that being said, when was the last time you saw a game where it didn't feel like they were just bringing heat on every play?
The other team? Or
Yeah, the other team. Like Nebraska?
It was early, man. It was TCU or Nebraska. It was early in the season when people didn't know better.
Yep.
In Colorado State, if you remember, like, that was Shador running around the whole game.
Yeah.
And ever since then.
Ever since then, they have come every time.
So
Pause.
So that is, to me, the challenge for Colorado, is to put Arizona in a position where they can't bring 5 or more on most plays. And that starts with running the ball. And the key to it, and the reason I bring it up, is because, sure, their secondary can be subpar. But if Shador doesn't have time to process where the secondary is and what they're doing, it's going to look the same as it has for weeks now. And so you have to run the ball. You have to get some screens. You got to get some quick passes off. Get Dylan out in the flat. I mean, all the things that we've been talking about for weeks are even more important than this one, in my opinion, because I believe if you can just make them be on their heels a little bit on the defensive side of the ball, Shador will carve them up.
And I'm glad you said 4 weeks. You made an excellent salient point, but I'm glad you ended it with 4 weeks. Not 4 as in F-O-U-R, but F-O-R. Because I see people who say that this is such a fan show, or Neely so close to prime, or the DNVR guys are so Colorado that they won't criticize. Have we not ad nauseum been criticizing, saying how much we need to run the ball and have deliberate runs?
Absolutely.
Like, it's been a constant theme on our show. As close as we are to the program and the coaches, we have maintained, hey, respect their ability, what they bring to the table. I would like to see us have more deliberate runs. And what Arcade just described is why you want to have deliberate runs.
Yep.
Keeps the defense honest. It makes them back up some. It makes them stop sending the house at a QB who doesn't have the greatest protection after all. And we need a little time. If we're going to take advantage of this poor secondary, we need time. Running keeps it honest.
Yep.
I mean, defensively, this is one of the strongest teams against the run in the country, though. 4th in the Pac-12, 16th in the country, only allowing 101 yards per game.
And that's a strong stat, Jake, but one thing that the 3 of us have echoed, so I'll speak on your behalf because you're the stat guy right now. We've always said that it's not even necessarily about the success of the run. It's the defense knowing that you will run.
and fear. They have to fear it at least a little bit. Mm-hmm. The problem is teams have decided to bring pressure in a way that they feel they can stop the run and the pass, and that's only possible because Colorado can't block the middle.
Mm-hmm. And it's also a math game. We were just talking earlier about something in probabilities, about 85 out of 100 or something. Can't remember what it was. Probably wasn't something for the air anyway. But anywho, if you don't know what a team is going to do, but you do know 90% of the time they're going to do this, you can literally fail at the 10% and still win.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're going to be a 90% pass, 10% run, they don't have to factor in the 10% run.
Nope.
They can just treat it like the 90 is 100, girl math it, and just come every time. Pause again.
I go back to turnovers again, though. This team has only created 8 takeaways all year. 3 of those came at Washington State in that big win. They have not recorded a takeaway in each of their last 2 games. That game against Washington State, the only game that they had multiple takeaways in a game. So I don't know, though. I guess because they went, +4 2 weeks ago and still couldn't win. So
it's not all about that, but it is part of the formula. I have to say, someone in the comments said, is it going to snow for the game tomorrow?
No, it's going to be beautiful.
Not even close. And so it got me to dig up my tweet from November 26th of last year.
Okay.
The last home game of the season. Mm-hmm. I tweeted, I heard at Deion Sanders doesn't like the cold. Here's how we're looking for the last game of the season. It was sunny, beautiful, and 54 degrees that day. It's going to be even warmer tomorrow. So
Love it.
I remember that tweet. I remember you sharing that with me after I got here.
Yeah.
You are not just RK, you're a prophet.
I was that was when I was all in on the Coach Prime train because I actually believed it was possible. By the way, my other guy who from the start it was like, if we can get Coach Prime, we got to get him. But I didn't believe that we could get Coach Prime. My other guy, I'm forgetting his name, the James Madison coach?
Kurt Signetti, undefeated this season. Yep.
So
campaigning to get into a bowl game too because of
obviously
the NCAA's whack ass rules.
Coach Prime, the best hire that Colorado could have ever possibly made. But I'm just glad that I was also right about my other guy.
Yep. This is also, I guess, a return, or it is a return game for Montana Lamonius Craig.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't done too much this season, but
he did a lot in that spring game.
He did.
Sure did.
Only 20 receptions for 183 yards and 2 touchdowns this year.
Michael Harrison
he wasn't popping off on Twitter, though, huh?
No.
Michael Harrison has more yards than Montana Lamonius.
So does Omarion Miller.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yo, we almost had more yards.
And people melted down over that one.
Yeah. But that's Shador's boy. Those guys are boys. I don't know. I didn't see many videos of Taylor Upshaw and Shador hanging out together.
No. Man, I'm telling you, man, like it's Upshaw who? Like he was kind of a distant guy.
All right. Do we still want to keep previewing this game? Prime players?
Man, let's do whatever, man. I shot Alyssa a video because you reminded me of your 1-year anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
I shot her a video. We don't have to run the audio, Alyssa, but at some point in the show, this is a 2-year anniversary for Coach Prime.
Is it?
And when you watch this video, whenever we do it later on, you're going to see how far he's come in 2 years, man. Today, 2 years ago, he, quote, unquote, checked himself out of the hospital to show back up at Jackson State to get ready to coach a game on the road.
Warrior,
wow. Man. Warrior. That just, when you said 1 year, reminded me that popped up in my phone today.
Happy for him, man.
He's come a long way.
But as some anonymous source said yesterday, he doesn't know how to overcome adversity.
Yes. Did you read that article by chance?
I did not.
Good. Don't give them
the
clicks
clicks
that they so desperately deserve.
It's pretty bad.
Or they so desperately want.
Yeah.
And don't deserve.
All right.
Now you're going to make me read it.
I could pull it up for you if you want to read it.
I'm just glad you said up and not out. Thank you.
Jesus.
Pause.
Shout out to us. We're having the last tailgate of the season tomorrow.
Last tailgate. Man, look, hey.
It's free.
It's all free. Liquor, beer, Olipop, Illegal
Pete's.
Red Ollipops.
Free for free.
And what's the location?
Benson Field.
And time?
8 a.m.
8.
Because we finally got a noon damn game.
Yep. I would have killed for just like a 1:30, a 4:30, 3:30.
The game's going to end and the sun's going to be up still.
It's going to be close.
Kicks off at noon. We're not playing till 4:30, 5 o'clock.
The Pac-12 refs and the Pac-12 network timeouts. I don't know. The fake injuries on their side.
We got
I think the sun is going to be setting.
Sunset at 4:49.
I think the sun's going to be setting.
It takes us into double overtime.
If we're still playing football 4 hours and 45 minutes after kickoff,
Jake, if you look at our history at home, we've been some long ass games, man.
Anyway, shout out to us.
By the way, okay, go ahead.
If you're enjoying the content, consider becoming a DNVR diehard. You get a free shirt at sign up every year after, 20% off
The
merch
shirt of their
always.
choice, or you just send them
Shirt
one
of
from
their
your
choice.
stash?
No,
I just thought maybe it was a Jake stash. Like, here, take this one.
no. You get access to Diehard's only disc card. You get a Diehard merch card or a physical Diehard card, exclusive merch, all kinds of good stuff. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Did you have something real quick?
I'll wait.
Shout out to Snarfs as well.
Nice. Hey, man, let me tell you this. I had to pause, gather myself. I don't want to get emotional.
We're waiting.
I was about to drop an F-bomb, but, I'm pausing.
Okay.
I have been effing up some snarfs, man.
Snarf burger? Snarf
Yes.
sandwiches?
Both, man.
Yeah. Okay, so you have tried the sandwiches.
Yeah, but just one sandwich.
Which one?
The fried bologna. I'm from Mississippi, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
They got all
Not at
kinds
all.
of good stuff.
Yeah.
It's delicious. They got a perfect bread, cheese, meat ratio. They've been doing it since 96. They also cater. As Unc said, check out Snarf Burger as well. And as a salute to service, all current and retired U.S. military personnel will receive a complimentary 7-inch sandwich for Veterans Day, which is tomorrow.
And it's salute the military game tomorrow for us.
Yep.
Special decal on the helmets,
Okay.
little camouflage in them. You'll see them.
Yeah.
Camouflage?
Yeah, it's a black helmet, but the logo, the CU logo, kind of has a.
Thought I had the flag.
If we're sharing,
It's like a flag camouflage military theme built into the decal.
it looks sick.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm actually hoping we can go get a little sneak up close and personal preview of that after we're done
Let's
here.
do that when we leave here.
Hell yeah.
And then finally, shout out to DraftKings Sportsbook. What is the line even tomorrow? It opened at 9.5, 10.5?
I will tell you as you tell us more about DraftKings Sports.
But get in on the action. College football is coming to the end. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook. Bet on all the good stuff there. All kinds of free SGPs, boosts. If you go to the top of the page, you got tons of deals. Download the app. Use the code DNVR. New customers can bet just $5 on anything and get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code DNVR. The crown is yours.
So the line is Colorado plus 10.
Okay.
The money line is plus 300, but right now at DraftKings Sportsbook, you can get a 25% profit boost for the Colorado-Arizona game. So you throw that bad boy on plus 300 and you get plus 375.
Love it.
Hey, man, some of the opening drive parlays are so good, I just had to take them.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they could happen.
Okay.
Yeah, they could happen. You should go look at those.
I will.
Yeah. I'm talking about like $5 and get 600 kind of thing.
Oh, my God.
Just
For
on
what?
one, not three-legged parlays, just on one.
For what?
Like opening drive, it's one that's out there that say Arizona punts and then we score a field goal. Another is opening drive, Arizona field goal, and we get a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
It's
see.
all
I see.
stuff that could happen. Like it's nothing far-fetched like, hell, onside kick, then a fumble, and then an ostrich runs out and a raccoon comes again. It's nothing like that. Nothing good. There's some good ones out there.
You can get the game to go to overtime at plus 1,300.
Oh, God.
Like this. And we're at home. And what happens at home?
Too often.
So, that's a good one, man.
If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, licensee partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles in Louisiana. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources.
So
You know what we need?
Is our extra co-host that we added to the show no call, no show today?
I didn't hear back, man.
He's fired.
I agree. You know what we need, though, Jake?
What do we need?
We have all these partners, sponsors, collabs, and then you close them out with these if you need help. All the previous ones have like a code. we need a code for DNVR, the pregame show, that if you need help, you get a little faster. So if you got a gambling problem, and once you call, you do like DNVR, and like they help you quicker.
I like it. Speaking of,
And by
really
help,
quick,
we mean they don't help because we want you to bet more.
shout out to 5430 Foundation, who is co-sponsoring the tailgate with us tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So if you feel obliged to contribute to the tailgate, as you're getting free food, free liquor, free beer, free vibes, contribute to 5430 Foundation. We will have QR codes and all that good stuff out there to make it easy for you. So there you go.
I cannot let you end that discussion without talking about elevation and elevation.
Yes, 5430, the elevation of Boulder.
And the elevation of Boulder. Now, you're doing a wonderful job, man. You know, you got the monthly thing automatic you can do now.
Yep.
You know, looking for some
And
big things.
according to Alyssa, once you do that, it doesn't even count.
It's free. It's like girl math it. Like you can donate, and really it's not like you donated, so then donate again.
Yep.
Because it's free.
I kind of
Write-off, so it's like,
There is a
There you
tax
go.
write-off.
Write-off. So you're
beneficial
actually
program.
making money? Could be.
there you
Could
go.
be.
Make money and help out the Buffs get some.
Let's not mislead
Top-tier
anyone here.
players.
It's probably.
Yeah, hey y'all, we were just joking with the super dope producer. Listen to the side. You know, it's not free to donate. It is tax deductible, but the money literally comes out of your account.
You do have to spend it.
We do have some visitors coming in this
do.
weekend. A lot of them are local kids, but we do have one guy who is the headliner. That is Cam Michael, out of Statesboro, Georgia. This is Amontre Bradford's cousin and teammate on his high school team. Amontre Bradford committed last month, sorry. Michael is, if you haven't watched this film, this guy is blazing fast.
Yeah.
Blazing fast. Plays quarterback, running back, and defensive back. Looked to be a impact player in the secondary at college. His commitment is in about 2 weeks on the 23rd of November. I think that's right before Thanksgiving. CU's in his top 7. Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, and A&M also in there.
Hey, you remember we were talking about passing the ball,
Uh-huh.
running the ball, the probability, and if you chase the probability, you end up right more than you're wrong because we do it so much. Remember that? Just about 10 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Get this. 85% of the people who come here and visit and sit in the recruit lounge and talk to Coach Prime commit.
Crazy.
Like that. Is that that's the we come in wall, right?
Yeah, 85% that if they come and visit and do the sit down with him in the recruiting lounge, you know, the full meal deal, if you will, we get 85% of the visits.
That's awesome.
Man, it's unbelievable statistic.
That really
I
is.
love it. We have a commit coming back this weekend in Micah Welch. He committed back in the summer when he came on an OV. He'll be in town. Jordan
5'9",
Ochoa.
210, just bowling
ball.
back.
Yeah. Jordan Ochoa will be back for the 3rd time, I believe, this season. He was just here last weekend as well. The rest there's some Dungeon family guys, but it's a lot of local guys, a lot of guys in the future as well. So
Yeah, you get into December, man, it's going to open up. I think that first weekend in December is high schools. Then the next one is transfer people. It's tiered like that. So fear not.
Yep.
Fear not. Help is on the way.
It is very much on the way.
Help is on the way.
Prime players,
Yep.
are you good?
Speaking of help being on the way,
What's up?
my perspective of the week,
Okay.
The past week or the week going forward?
of this week,
Okay.
and forevermore. If you've seen this series, you'll think it's hilarious that I'm referencing this on this show. But I've been watching this TikTok series where these guys make up sayings that don't exist. And one of the ones that the guy said has just been living in my head rent-free ever since. He said, "Don't break a sweat on the escalator." Meaning,
I love it.
if you're already going up, don't stress the little things.
That's true. I
And
love that.
And I feel that so perfectly encapsulates what's happening at Colorado.
Absolutely.
Don't break a sweat on the escalator, man. We are going up. It is so clear that the trajectory is upward.
Absolutely.
And yes, we want to win now. Everyone wants to. We want to win tomorrow, and I think they will. But you got to remember that there is beauty in the building. And everything, we live in a instant gratification society, but like sometimes the build up to making it to your goal. When you get to the goal, you look back and you say, man, it wouldn't have been the same if it wasn't for that.
Exactly.
You cannot appreciate the mountaintop if you've never been in the valley.
Yep.
And we were 1-11 in the valley as a program. You now have 4 wins on the book. Let's look at this, man. 1 win a year ago, right? 4 wins now, right?
Yep.
What if percentage-wise, Coach Prime does the same percentage increase this time next year?
Was that 400?
Exactly.
That would be undefeated.
That'd be a college football title is what that would be.
That's my point. Thank you.
Yeah.
That if you take what you're seeing as, oh, man, we're leaving meat on the bone. Oh, man, I can't believe we lost these games. If you look at what RK is talking about, the trajectory of the escalator, 1 win, 4. Put another 400% on top of that next year. And these people who talk on these nights about who's going to be in the playoffs right now, we are 6 or lower with that schedule, with that record.
Of course. Yep.
All we got to do is trust the process, man. The arrow is clearly pointing up with this program.
Don't break a sweat on the escalator.
I love that. Speaking about trusting the process, we'll get to the prime players in a second. I want to ask you this, just about Pat Shurmur and the second week of him kind of being at the helm.
Sure.
What can you tell us about what you've seen from the offense, if anything at all, really?
Oh, yeah. No, I think I can skirt around it because I'm sure Arizona's watching. They love our programs.
Yeah.
I think that there will be significant improvements from a week ago. Whereas Pat Shurmur has always, as an analyst, they're not involved in direct coaching, but they are involved in schematic kind of things in the process. Whereas he's been a voice in the offense, now him being the play caller. What do we say in football just in general? The biggest growth you see is between week 1 and week 2. Mm-hmm. He's called games for 1 week, getting the feeling for it, got the feeling for it, went back to practice, did some things, updated. In general, did some things updated specifically for this opponent. I think you're going to see an improvement in the offense. Now, pause, because somebody's going to love to come back after the game and say, oh, Neely was wrong. We still have to do it against a damn good defense.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can't look at success in that, oh, he ran for 8 yards. You have to look for things like schematically, was this person in the right place? It's almost like the defense. So let me answer it in a defense question. Let me tell you how I know Charles Kelly defense is good. We're there. We touched the guy. You still have to make the damn tackle.
Right.
A bad defensive scheme is when no one is there.
Right.
The guy just went out there scot-free on the route or came out the backfield scot-free, nobody's there. You touch a guy in the backfield, don't bring him down. You touch him at the scrimmage and don't bring him down. You touch him at the linebacker position and bring him down and don't bring him down. You can't say that's a crappy defensive plan.
Right.
It's the same thing offensively. Look at some of the key drops we had last week.
So many
The
of them.
damn play worked. You have to catch the ball.
Yep.
So I say all that to say I'm looking for that kind of marked improvement offensively without factoring in who we're doing it against. You still have to go out there and execute it.
Mm-hmm. Love that. All right, prime players time?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Tone Loc voice. That was Tone Loc. That's a little before your time. Delicious vinyl records out of L.A. It was just the glory days of hip-hop, man. Tone Loc. Shout out to Tone Loc. Where's Tone Loc right now?
Great question. I got to say, I love the beanie look.
Yeah, hey, man,
fire.
Jake and I.
Yeah, where's yours?
The temperature.
I don't want to say what I think I look like when I wear a beanie.
You can't rock a beanie, bro?
No.
It must be a penis if you don't want
No,
to say it.
no, it's not. It's not. It's wait.
This is laughing.
If it was a penis, I would say it.
Now I wonder, what do you look like when you rock a beanie, man?
Ask me after the show.
Okay.
Offensive side of the ball. Who wants to go first?
I'm going to go, man, I do remember.
Okay.
This is an optimistic choice, right? I'm going to go with the running backs, but I don't know if it'll be Hankerson or Wilkerson who gets the bulk of the carries. But I am looking forward to, for the same reasons that RK articulated earlier, that, man, let's get a running game effort going, and because I believe it can work. I want to go at one of the backs, so let me go Hankerson/Wilkerson to protect myself in getting more yards than they've typically gotten this year.
All right.
I'm going easy on this one, but we talked about it last week and it didn't really happen, so I'm counting on it happening this week. Must-win game, as must-win as they get, they're going to go to the guy.
Got to go to Travis.
Travis.
Yeah.
Now, I have very few critiques of Shedeur Sanders. Very few.
Very few.
One I have is not enough 50-50 balls for Travis. Now, Travis doesn't always get 50-50 matchups. Sometimes he gets 33-33 matchups. I mean,
Right.
he's
Yeah,
double teamed. But there have been opportunities out there where he gets the look. And I think that Shedeur is so conditioned to do the right thing that he's looking for an open guy.
Yeah.
And I just want him to think if Travis is one-on-one, he's open.
Right.
That's a great point, man.
And so I'd like to see that tomorrow. Just a couple jump balls. Just let Travis go get it because he will.
Adding into that Shedeur has to factor in more, and it's a non-quarterback trained thing, but it's a game time recognition thing. Sometimes out there with Zay, we've seen it. Sometimes we could see it more with Travis. I mean, shit, go for the pass interference. Like before you're sacked, before they're even back there, just throw the damn go ball. It's either going to hit the ground, Travis is going to get it, it's going to be PI. Either way, it's 15 yards.
Yep.
So I like what you're saying, man. Makes sense to me.
I stayed kind of the same vein. I went with Xavier Weaver, though. I just think big game on senior day. We haven't really seen him.
Great point with it being senior day.
I don't think it – when's the last time he really had a big game? Was it
2 games ago? So which would have been before the bye week, which makes
the
it seem
Stanford
longer.
game?
Yeah.
So-
Seems long ago with the bye week.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the passing offense hasn't been as great the last few weeks, and a lot of that is Shedeur just getting hurt. But Zay's got to get more touches too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great point with senior day, man. You know, we talked earlier about like the emotion of stuff. RK was saying how, you know, somebody talking crap gets you motivated. It is senior day this weekend.
Yeah.
And Zay is a Senior Bowl kind of guy.
He's
You know,
going.
one and done, come here. Like tomorrow will be a big day. Man, that's a damn good pick, Jakey Pooh.
He said he was super excited about senior day. He said his family's coming up, and we talked to him on Wednesday and stuff. So
By the way,
Great pick.
thank you.
with Senior Day
Appreciate you.
on the horizon, that means tomorrow the Buffalo Heart Award will be given out. And it is usually given out to a outgoing player. Zay would be a great choice.
Do you know what that award is?
I'm familiar with it. Did not know it coincided with Senior Day, but based on what he just articulated, he's not only a great choice, he's about the only choice as far as people who were leaving.
Yeah, and that's the thing is it has gone to non-seniors before. So if it could go to anyone, I would say it would probably go to Shedeur.
Okay. I thought you were saying it had to be someone
But
like it's on the way out.
I don't think it does. I don't think it
Shedeur
does.
is absolutely coming back.
I'll try and look it up.
I'll
here.
do it.
Okay.
You do you.
I'll start.
Great pick with Zay, man.
Well, you and I have the same defensive player here, so you and I can go back and forth. But we both went with Shiloh, and it's become just so evident and clear to me, at least, that he is like the heartbeat of that defense. He is Coach Kelly's guy. I think Shiloh has really taken his game to another level under Coach Kelly, and just his tendency to really force turnovers is what changes so much of this team's I guess hopes, on a drive-in, drive-out basis, especially during the game. I mean, one turnover can change the game, and he's just able to do it, seems like at least once a week.
I agree with you, man, and I could make this show go 45 seconds longer by repeating everything you said. I won't. You're right. We picked the same defensive player of the game in Shiloh Sanders. I'm looking for one more additional thing like we got at Stanford. I want to pick 6 from him.
Yep.
He has given us probably 3 games in a row a big hit that caused a fumble, whether we recovered it or not. So credit to him for those turnovers. But we need to start getting points off those turnovers. And this is not to piss on the offense, but one thing that has happened defensively, we've gotten a turnover, and then the offense doesn't do a lot with it. Tell you what, let's do this week. Let's get the turnover and let's score.
Yep. He's just been great, and I'm really excited for not just the rest of the season, but his offseason and next year. Because what he's been able to do under Coach Kelly, not that he wasn't a good player at JSU, but
he elevated. Yeah.
He has gone, and I think he's proved a lot of people wrong, actually, with
Absolutely.
how good
Let me
he's
tell
been.
you this, man, and I'll say it as a JSU grad and with the pregame show starting at Jackson State and nothing but love for Jackson State. Shedeur Sanders has gotten better since Jackson State.
Yes.
Shiloh Sanders has gotten better since Jackson State. Tyler Brown has gotten leaner, faster, stronger. You haven't been able to see it because of the crazy NCAA since Jackson State. That's not a diss to Jackson State. That's a testament to their work and their growth that in this newer environment to them that they didn't rest where they were, man. Shedeur's arm strength and accuracy from this time last year to now is just unbelievable. Same thing with Shiloh. He was headache gang CEO in the swag, but it wasn't dislodging the ball like it's happening now. Like it is consistently that he makes you drop the ball now.
Well, and I think his growth is even more impressive. This guy didn't show up till what, June? Like, he didn't have the spring.
No,
to
he
try
was
and
he
learn this
was
defense.
he was a Kermani and a rival.
Yeah.
Because he had to graduate from Jackson State.
Yep.
And he didn't graduate until May. He arrived in June, and he learned the intricacies of this defense. Really in August.
All right, so the Buffalo Heart Award definition is it goes to the player who most demonstrates grit, determination, and toughness. And it does not have to go to a senior. And given those definitions,
Travis.
It's got to be Travis.
I think it has to go to Shador.
Well, look, let me tell you this. Tell you why I can go to Shador with the grit shit, because he's been hit so damn much. But Travis coming back after like what most people would have needed surgery from, to me, that grit part there. But at the end of the day, who's going to be mad if Shador gets it? Like, who's going to be mad if Travis gets it? Because there's justification either way. But both of those guys have demonstrated the bulk of this season that if they ain't got nothing, they got heart. Because they have gone through some stuff that most mortal men would have quit.
Some of the past winners include Darren Cheverini, Mike Machete, Bobby Purify, a favorite of mine, Joel Klatt, Jordan Dizon, who's on the wall behind us. Cody Hawkins actually deserved it that year because kept playing, gave his all after his dad got fired. And most recently, Philip Lindsay, and then Nate Landman, the only ever back-to-back winner.
Oh, wow.
Won it in 2020,
The
2021.
Archie Griffin of
Yeah, and now he's balling out for the Atlanta Falcons.
And Brady Russell won it last year.
And Brady Russell won it last year. So that's a good debate.
Yeah, but I think with
think
your description and qualifications, as dope as Zay Weaver is, I think that falls off the table compared to the
Grit,
determination
determination,
and Travis have done.
toughness. I think it's got to go to Shador.
I mean, it's he's the quarterback, and look how much he's sacked, and he gets up.
Yep, exactly. I mean, just watching him, for lack of a better term, drag himself up and down the field the last couple of weeks has been enough for me to say that's his award.
Your defensive player.
But I still gotta push back again. So I'm leaving out on Travis, man. Shador is a son of a bitch. Like, he deserves every bit of that award in 3 of them. Look how many plays Travis plays a game on both sides.
That is
of the
so
ball,
true.
man.
That's
I mean, when you look at just the number of play, my son was here working with the pregame show last week, and it got to like right before halftime. He said, "Dad, does he ever come out?" And I was like, "Not really." Like, it's like he plays so much, man.
Yeah.
So, yes, it is awarded by the fans, and it's actually voted on. Did they give you a vote last year?
We voted on a bunch of stuff, but I can't remember exactly voting on this.
Okay, I can't remember if the media gets a vote. I feel like I did at one point, but it's actually voted on by the season ticket holders behind the bench.
Oh, nice.
Which is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that is cool.
So,
That's another curveball that ticks it back towards Shador. Because if you're behind the bench, and one thing, man, shout out to Folsom Field, it is the shortest, narrowest distance between fans and players I've ever seen in my life.
Travis
It's
wouldn't
like-
know because he's never on the bench.
And that's what I was about to say. The fans wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Because they don't hear him being a bench leader because he's always on the field versus Shador. If you're right in that section and you get a vote, you hear a vocal Shador that you don't get like at the press conference. You get a different kind of vibe from him.
Yeah.
So I would tick it. I would lean it back towards Shador in that case.
It's
We're still here.
It's great. Yes, we are still here. It's a great award. I love it. It's unique to the university. If it were to go
You got hot? All right. the
if it
camera
were to
got
go to
hot, but
Travis
we're here.
or Shador, they would both be very worthy winners.
Got
Your
a couple
defensive,
ice.
your defensive player, though.
No, really. It's like just
My defensive player of the game
we're back.
is
You said JD.
Jordan Dominic.
You said
Jordan
JD.
Dominic. I
man.
didn't have to see it. I remember.
Hey, just leave it wide open. We shouldn't be bothering anybody now. They're bus loading.
Jordan Dominic is my defensive player of the game, and he's been making plays lately, man.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's getting enough credit for it because
Amen.
they're happening in losses. But he made a lot of plays against UCLA. He made a lot of plays against Oregon State. I'm counting on him to stay hot. It's also senior day for him.
Yep.
So there you go. He's got that going for him, and they need it. So there is a little bit of hope, but I think that he gets a strip sack tomorrow.
Also, we haven't talked about it yet. This offensive line that Arizona has is really damn good.
Oh, yeah.
So I almost picked JD as well, but went Machado just because of the turnovers. But JD, Someone on the defensive front needs to have a big day. Someone's got to get to Fafita.
Yes, it got to.
Someone's got to get some TFLs. Like, there's got to be negative plays in this game.
That's the one thing, though, that chit-chat with Charles Kelly about. Hey, listen, I'm serious. Like, the ice thing, just, like, set it
But
up.
where's it going to –
Well, just hold it. That's what she said. Look, one thing I say about this defense, that's like that improvement area the past weeks, and again, Jake, you just said it. RK, you said it. A lot of people overlook this stuff because we lost the game, right? It's almost the antithesis of the offensive line play. The offensive line, the first 3 and 4 games of the season, were just as quote-unquote bad as y'all say they are now, but we were winning. Nobody said anything. Same thing with the defense. We played so much ball on the other side of the line of scrimmage. You know, we were there, man. Like, we got sacks, but we lost a lot of sacks. Mm-hmm. We had tackles for losses, but a lot got away from us. If we can keep that trend going into these last 3 games, that's why I say this team could easily go from like 0-3 these last 3 to 3-0, because we're finally getting to where we're playing ball on their side of the line.
Yep. Also,
JD's a dog, man.
JD's, you know, for lack of a better term, in a contract year.
Pretty much.
Like, he's got to he's come on strong these last couple of weeks. A strong finish for him will make him money.
Yep. Dark horse player of the game. Who wants to go first?
I will go first. Mine goes to Cormani McClain. Mm-hmm. Personally called out in the meeting room this week in a positive way.
Yep.
And Coach Prime said it. He said he's going to ball this weekend. You can't do that from the bench. So I expect him to get his opportunities, and I expect him to make the most of those. I think this could be a game that we look back on in the future and say that was the Cormani gets over the hump game.
Love it.
I wish y'all could see the effort that Alyssa is making to keep the camera
MVP.
cool so we can stay on the air. She's
also
like
having
her ass off.
It's having a secondary effect of keeping me cool.
Yeah, it's working over here too.
Mr. I don't like fans likes people.
No, it's not as strong. It's like a nice soft
little breeze. Yeah. Like Pharaoh had, you know, you had a little feather fan going on. It's just,
yeah, exactly.
You know, I wasn't there, and they just drew pictures of it. But look, my dark horse, I know I picked running back for offensive player of the game, but I'm literally, so if this happens or when this happens, I'm not going to give you an I told you so, and unless it happens the way I'm describing it. I'm going with Dylan Edwards, but not Dylan Edwards out the backfield. I'm going with Dylan Edwards as a receiver, little check down routes, that screen stuff, that kind of thing. So give me Dylan Edwards as a dark horse.
TCU Dylan Edwards is what you're saying.
And I'm going to tell you why I picked it, why I'm saying it. I saw the same level of practicing, intensity, spirit, all that as TCU week. So I said, man, shit, let me go with the TCU guy. So give me Dylan Edwards. But again, not running back Dylan, receiver Dylan.
Every day.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember yours? Oh, you
I
already
gave
gave yours.
mine. Do you remember yours?
I do. No, I do. I'm going with Jimmy Horn Jr.
Nice.
Jimmy Moore Jr.
He hasn't really done much. Some fans are kind of on him for the drops and stuff recently, too. I just think that we need to have a big game offensively. Shador obviously needs to play better. Offensive line needs to play better. But these receivers need to come out and be dominant as well. That's why I picked Zay to be offensive player, and now I got Jimmy at dark horse.
I love it. I love it. Jimmy's due for, man. He's due for one.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is.
And, you know, I don't think there's a receiver out there, Moss, Rice, T.O., who's always here, who hasn't dropped a ball, who hadn't dropped a ball at a crucial moment in the game. It happens.
Jerry Rice led the NFL in drops his rookie season.
I'm not gonna beat up Jimmy, man, who's given us so much consistently over a drop pass or two. But I do know this: he put the work in on the jug machine. He is more focused and determined. I like Jake. You have given some picks today that I'm like, I want to switch with you after you give me your rationale. Because that's Zay's senior day. I missed that one.
Senior Zay.
This guy.
I just need RK in my life, man. I told you, man, you make me laugh. Kevin Hart does not make me laugh. RK makes me laugh.
That's high praise.
Let's dial up RK, turn down Kevin Hart.
All right.
It's my mantra going into 2024.
Shout out to Backus and Shanker. If you get hurt,
Go ahead.
they are here to help. They've helped Colorado families win for 25-plus years and won over $1 billion for their clients.
I think I did too many twos, but I put the number up.
Well, you did it. I mean, just need to flash the 2, really. Just keep hitting that thing until Backus and Shanker pick up.
Until it starts ringing. 222.
They help with all kinds of injury cases where you weren't at fault: car accidents, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrians, trucks. Even if you're hurt at work, if you need to sue, smash the 2. You can call for a free consultation today. Backus and Shanker wins. And then shout out as well to FOCO, the leading manufacturer of sports and entertainment merchandise, with a product line that includes apparel, accessories, novelty items, bobbleheads, toys. I mean, everything.
FOCO.
You can go get all the regular team gear at all those other sites. If you want fun team gear, though, you go to FOCO. They got those overalls that have been going crazy, too, for World Series. I saw them all over the place. I saw them at Broncos games.
Oh, yeah.
I want to acknowledge something, though. Back to the previous sponsor, the law firm.
Yeah.
222-222-2222.
Backus and Shanker.
Yeah, Backus and Shanker. I want to acknowledge something. You know, you said that if you were hurt at work, you could call them.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 weeks ago, I asked, have you been hurt at work because RK picks on you so much? I want to acknowledge that on this show, you have no reason to call them because not only have we not bullied you today, you have done some damn good picks.
Thank you.
Your case is dismissed.
So I'm good at my job is what you're saying.
For one time.
For one time, please. FOCO always has our back for Colorado sports neighbors.
You got the
too.
compliment, then you just wanted to fish for more.
Get the best gear
Put him in a
around.
position to just swat you
By
out.
using the
leave
link
it alone.
in our description for all non-presale items. Use the promo code DNVR and get 10% off. I'm just due more respect, I feel.
Yeah, but you gotta just take that compliment and run with it, man. You doubling down is gonna get you popped. Now we're gonna bully you.
It's like playing whack-a-mole.
That's what Alyssa's doing.
Well, this is getting an arm workout.
I need you here in a bit, though, Alyssa.
I know. That's why I feel weird. I got the icon to go away. It's bad.
All right, cool.
No,
Or
not good.
not good.
All right.
All right, chat. What's up?
Wait, really quick.
Go ahead.
Speaking of celebrities in the building, Neely, are you willing to share who you spoke with?
I am willing to share because, my God, thank you for teeing it up.
Yeah.
The doctor, Julius Irvin, is in the building today, man. Dr. J and Coach Prime had about a 35-minute meeting.
So sick.
It was hard for me to sit in and record without my cheeks hurting because, as Coach Prime told him, and you guys will see it on the pregame show, as he is like a hero, the doctor is like the first sports guy like I remember looking up to and wanting to be like. Talk to him about the fish to save Pittsburgh. You know, I know, hey, I'm dating myself. You guys don't remember that movie? So y'all go out and download, watch the Fish to Save Pittsburgh 70s basketball movie like the ABA days. Awesome. Dr. J, man. Dr. J. And hey, wait. He wasn't just here today. He's going to be at the game tomorrow.
Let's go.
Let's go.
He's going to be on the sideline tomorrow.
On the sideline.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dr. J is here.
Dr. J, I don't know what it is about him, man, but that's one of the coolest ones for me so far that has showed up in this building. For me, Dr. J was like my first entrance into like loving historic players.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, I became a basketball fan when I was like 9 or 10, and I started watching the Nuggets. They were the worst team in the league at the time. Yep. And I started like playing video games and stuff like that were basketball. And I saw like an old Dr. J video, and he was just so cool. Like everything about him was cool. And so I started getting into like some basketball history, and then it spiraled into more, you know, just like learning about players from other sports. Yeah. But basketball ones for me, I don't know, are just the coolest. Yeah. Like the historic basketball players like Dr. J, just like you see the highlights, he's like so smooth and
like levitating.
Yeah.
Basically.
I would love to get a legal pad out one day when I'm sitting at home and write down all the people I've met because of Deion Sanders. But I can honestly say, as I reflect on the list in my head, Dr. J personally is like the first one I've just been like overly starstruck by. Like, man, I see the gray hair. I see, you know, he's getting older. But, man, that's Dr. Damn J, man.
Yeah.
Like, I had white Converse high tops with the red trim around the bottom because of him. Like, I cut grass and got the shoes because of Dr. J.
Yep.
And then he played against people like George Iceman or Gervin, man. It's just like he is an era of basketball. And the guys who came under him, like Charles Barkley, who he mentored, Dr. J, phenomenal human being, man. I
think this illustrates what I'm trying to say. When you watch old football highlights, it doesn't look cool. It looks
I think it's cool.
No, but like you don't look at the players and you're like, damn.
No, it looks rugged. It looks violent. It looks
it's like a little slower, like the throwing
pads
mechanics
are like boxier, stuff.
So you know what I mean? You watch Dr. J highlights and you're like, oh my God, it's so
like he
smooth.
invented cool.
Yeah. It's like his like reverse layups and all the stuff is just like,
man, when they show you now the players arriving for work, Dr. J invented that.
Yep.
Like Dr. J invented getting out of the drop top with the fur coat on. and going into the office. Like he invented that, man,
So sick.
with the afro.
Ready for super chats?
Yeah, will you pass me the mic at the very end?
Passing the
Oh
mic.
gosh. Oh, is that the way we want to go? Okay.
Here, give her that
I
one.
think it was in the front.
Oh, that's fine.
Just slide every mic down one.
Oh, this is good video. Oh, no.
Just give her that one.
Okay.
This is yours now.
Wait, I would have just taken it.
It's our first time live.
And now we have different audio levels and all that.
Okay.
Is this one unmuted? I remember we had to.
Yep, hang on. Okay, there we should.
All right, that one. There we go. I got the heart mic.
Those like musical chairs.
First one is just where can we watch the game?
Fubo.
Fubo. Get your trial. Use the code DNVR. You're gonna love the service.
We're going to keep the service.
And so get in on Fubo. Pac-12 Network is the place you must watch the game. You do need the correct sports package to have Pac-12 on Fubo. So
Great
just make
point.
sure that you're aware of that.
But you can still do that all on the free trial.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So-
You just got to make sure you select the right
Yes.
one. So look for the Pac-12 in your sports.
And then go to www.fubotv.com/DNVR. That's your link to sign up for 15% off.
By the way, thankfully we haven't needed a lot of Pac-12 Network for football season, but you're going to need it for basketball season.
This might be the last Colorado football game broadcasted on the Pac-12 network.
Thank God.
So like Friday is the ESPN. game.
ESPN. We'll find out on Monday what Utah is.
Yeah, but
Yep.
this very well could be it.
Yep.
Utah's going to be like ABC.
It should.
It should be.
It will.
Hopefully.
If we do right tomorrow.
That's for sure.
I'm so excited for that week. I can't wait to go home.
I'm going home after this. I'm going to have a home-cooked meal at my parents' house after this for the first time in a very long time. I'm looking forward to it.
We're going to Utah, man. We're going to Jake's hometown.
That's not my hometown. That's where my
We're going to
parents
Jake's home
live.
state.
That's why it's home to me.
I tried to get us an invite, Neely, to Jake's family Thanksgiving, and
Do you guys
never
want one?
came. Never came.
Do you want to go? Are you going to be there for Thanksgiving, though? I didn't know if you guys were leaving before Thanksgiving or not.
I don't think we are anymore.
You were leaving Friday. Stop playing.
Well,
But Jake's leaving early.
Yeah,
I am leaving
but you
early.
know we're leaving Friday.
But
And we're probably going to be on like some crack of dawn flight booked by RK Travel.
no,
And I'm
that's
gonna be-
not what happened.
And I'm going
Don't
to be
get it.
bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, baby.
Don't get it fucking twisted. I will book these flights, and I'll make
we're
sure
leaving
they're
at
the good
4
ones.
a.m. to arrive at Utah at 6 a.m. and sit around and wait on Starbucks to open.
Utah, solid press box.
Okay. I've only been to that stadium once. I
think I've
watched
never
Michigan play Utah
I
there.
want to
Fun
say they
fact.
built the stadium for the Olympics, or
they?
improved it for the Olympics.
Jake, I've never been to Utah before.
It's a weird fucking place, bro. It's a weird place.
You know, they should use that for their sales pitch. Like, hey, Utah Tourism, sponsor the show. We got your tagline right there.
Have you ever
It's a
seen?
weird
Utah.
fucking place.
You know, in TV shows where they go to the town over. I'm specifically thinking of Parks and Rec, but it happens a lot, and like everyone's the same but weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Utah is to Colorado. Like Colorado is the normal character, and then you go to Utah and you're like, oh, it looks similar, but everything's different.
Well, heard so much about Utah in my past travels and dealings that I can tell you guys one thing. I won't be going out with you like I did in Arizona and L.A.
I mean, Salt Lake's
What?
actually fine.
No,
Why is that?
no.
Salt Lake is actually fine. I promise. It's once you get out of Salt Lake, it gets
Can you
very
even?
weird.
Are there
very quickly.
bars?
There's for
Yeah,
sure.
they do. I was surprised by that last time, but they
There
do
are
have-
bars in Salt
They
Lake.
do have
Wow.
bars.
RK is going to find a bar.
I will tell you, they will not
He's going
have
to find a bar that serves
beer
buckets.
over 5%. And odds are we're probably gonna have to order food once we start actually
Yeah,
drinking.
you can't drink
Oh,
without ordering
yeah.
food.
That I did.
And they don't really have bars. They
You
have
know what
like
I love about this show,
breweries.
Alyssa? When you take us to the Super Chats, the people get so much more than their question.
It's true.
They really do.
Like this guy asked, where can he watch the game?
We're talking about
And
Utah.
he got where you can drink in Utah.
Person says
love it.
Moab, Utah's dope. I
and,
agree.
and we
I mean-
connected it. Like it worked.
Moab is cool, but it's
I wouldn't
4
live
hours
there.
away from Salt
And
Lake.
like
Yeah.
you just camp there, don't you?
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, Pac-12 Network.
Fubo.
that's the answer.
S. Williams said, appreciate super chat. Appreciate the love for S3 yesterday. RK, thanks, bro. What is the address for TG, and is the TG okay for
Tailgate.
kids to come through? Oh,
Tailgate, it doesn't have an address. Someone asked me that last week. I'm like, it's a field at a campus. But if you just type in Benson Field on like Google Maps, it's on there. I was told last week it is not on Waze.
No, it's not on Waze. It's on Google because I looked for it last week. You just expand the map where the name will pop up.
But also, like, if you're just going up Colorado towards Folsom, it's the last lot on your left before you hit the entrance to Folsom.
Correct.
So it's right there. It's right next to the entrance to the stadium. That was my favorite part about last week. As you know, I drunkenly found a way to clean up. And
You cleaned up?
Well, I helped.
Well, he does his best work drunk.
I got everything, all of the drinks drank. And then I was like, okay, time to go into the stadium, and just like walked across the street and was in. That was nice.
Yep.
Staggered across, maybe stumbled, but
I wasn't planning on getting to where I was, but I was encouraging everyone else to drink so much that I feel like I had to hold up my end of the
no, you
bargain.
got to lead. Like you can't send troops in the battles you don't want to go to.
Exactly.
You got to lead.
Exactly.
You can't. Hey, drink up, and you're empty-handed.
Exactly.
We'll see you tomorrow, S. Williams. Thank you.
Super chat from Jay's Mayhem says, has CU ever had an O-line worse than the 2023 team?
Oh yeah.
What's up, Jays? I feel like Jays has been gone for a minute.
Yeah. Yes.
How do you? Let me add on that question because again, like I'm still new here. I'm naturalized citizen just about now because I did lobby and get that porn site back. So I think that qualifies me. That
You're going to be disappointed when you go back to Utah.
It's not going to work. I'm going to once the flight lands, I'm typing it in. If it doesn't work, somebody's going to hear from me.
You're not allowed to do anything fun in Utah.
Okay, it's a weird place. You're right. How do we, RK, historically, to this question, measure worse? Is it sacks? Is it rushing yards, or is it just a feel?
I measure all things by one measurement, vibes.
Vibes.
I measure all things on vibes.
Okay. So there's been offense because this offensive line vibe-wise, there's some cool dudes, man.
Well, no, I mean like in terms of how it feels watching them.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
I mean, just look at some of the offenses that they've put out there. This one is scoring 30 points a game. Now, a lot of that is because of the skill position players being very, very good. And, of course, the quarterback is elite. But there have been some offensive lines here that you just couldn't do anything behind.
Gotcha.
And there have been moments this season where it felt that way. But you're also playing a level of competition that just does not compare to some of the Pac-12s that we've gone against in the past.
And
I mean,
we're
this
still here,
Pac-12 is the best conference in football this year.
Yeah. Don't let the black screen fool you. We're still here.
Last year's offensive line was legitimately better than this year's.
And again, that's predicated on like sacks given up, rushing yardage, how we
Look, last year they were really bad. They had terrible quarterback play though.
okay.
But they could still run the ball like when they had
We're
to.
back.
They could get 4 or 5 yards. And it would there wasn't as many guys just running scot-free. You know, like Shador drops back and he doesn't even get to do a drop. He's just running sometimes.
Yeah.
But they're bringing like double A-gap blitzes with 6-man rushes, and it's just like, what can you even do about
It's a
that?
vicious cycle. You can't do anything about it because you're inept, and they're doing what they're doing because you're inept, and one thing leads to the other. I think schematically, man, one of the glaring issues from a play calling perspective, whether it's a Pat Sherman, Sean Lewis, or Jakey Poo, when you have a quarterback that is already getting hit and sacked as much as he is, you have to take out all the QB design runs.
Yeah.
Like you just have to remove that from the playbook because you can't add to the problem.
Yep.
And when you look at what takes place around the conference, college sports, or even held the NFL, you got to have a design run from the QB in there at some point. And we don't get to do that because ours is already hit too much.
Yep.
All right, we got to hurry.
I was like, our camera's overheating.
I've got
That's
40
why
minutes to get to this game.
This
so.
is happening, unfortunately.
I think we should make it about the camera and not your game schedule.
I honestly erased so much of last season from my brain that I don't know if I can comment on the offensive line last year.
That's fair. I don't blame you.
Like that I have been able to seriously bury some CU football trauma.
I mean, last year was pretty fucking bad.
Yeah, I remember like doing the watch along with you against Minnesota. I remember being in the stadium at Air Force. That's like it. Like the Utah game that I just talked about where I said it was 54 degrees and I tweeted at Coach Prime. I don't remember a single play from that game. I've just buried that out of my mind.
I don't remember that game at all either.
Speaking of burying out of the mind, let me give RK a shout out of something that he and Coach Prime have in common.
Okay.
If you go to the pregame show YouTube, you'll see 2 parts of a sit down I did with Coach Prime in his recruiting lounge. Stanford game came up, and he admitted, I still hadn't got over that. Think about it all the time.
Yeah.
You and RK both.
Yeah. That one, there's like a hole in my heart because of it.
That super chat just disappeared on the screen, Alyssa. Sorry.
You want to
Or
read
I
it?
guess I can go back in time.
Well, speaking of, it says, Uncle Neely, love your Cannon convo with Coach Prime. You seem to bring out a different side of him. Salute.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate that.
I
You know,
think-
he and I have a relationship outside of football, and I think it eases our conversations.
I was just going to say that I think that's the best compliment that anyone can be paid in an interview is you bring out a different side of them or they feel comfortable with you or whatever. And I agree
I
very
appreciate
much
that.
on those.
Thank you.
Another super chat from Kitwana. What about Levante as defensive player?
Sure.
It's a
Great
good one.
pick. Great.
That's
Great
a good
pick.
one. That's a good one. We're going to write that down.
Another senior day guy.
Damn it.
You messed up, bro.
No, I effed up. I should have picked a senior. Oh, my God.
Aloha Buff Super Chat says, look up the picture of Connor Stallions on the CMU sideline stealing signs for Michigan. Are we sure that dude with the cap and shades isn't Jake?
I made that joke last week.
I told you I will neither confirm nor deny. Go blue forever.
Jake would write a manifesto about.
I will die
Michigan
for Jim
football.
Harbaugh.
So I saw they're sitting him, huh?
Well,
We'll see.
clip
No,
that.
I think it got announced.
Clip that. Him saying I will die for Jim Harbaugh for when he's the coach of the Raiders next season.
No, Jim Harbaugh is too good for the Raiders.
I don't agree.
It came out.
Big
but
Ten
I
bans
know.
Harbaugh from sidelines.
Yeah, they're going to
mid-pro.
get a temporary
Now
restraining
they're
order.
like
to-
countersuing. They're
Yeah,
like
good.
countersuing.
They should.
Yeah, it should all
It's
wait till-
ridiculous.
It should all wait till the season's over when the facts are.
Yes.
Just don't get caught, Jake. That's the name of the game.
That is the name of the game, Jay.
I mean, if Connor Stallions didn't go rogue, then we wouldn't have to worry about this whole thing.
Also, we're so close to a funny part of this story, which is going to be that his real name is definitely not Connor Stallions. That's a porn star name.
It is a porn name.
Okay, last super chat here from Priest Hakeem again. RK and Unk as business owners, what advice or words of wisdom can you give someone who wants to start a business?
Start. Be consistent. Bet on yourself.
I love all of those. Mine would be when things get hard, the best things will come out of that.
Pause.
When your back is up against the wall, and you have to get creative to keep your business afloat, that's when your best ideas will happen.
I totally agree with that. And if you don't believe I'm going to get, when things get hard, the best things come out of them on a mug and a T-shirt, you're crazy. What a quote. What a quote.
Spencer's asking where the arcade video from ASU is. Go to last week's pregame show.
Yeah.
Watch the end of the show.
Now, I mean, you know.
You got a whole like compilation.
Yeah.
It's wait till you see the season-ending compilation of Arcade Annie's. Because we hadn't even put the LA minivan stuff out yet.
Man, I can't believe I gave such a great pearl of wisdom and just got paused. And I deserved it. But the thought was good.
Now, you nailed it, man. You nailed it. You just, that whole when things get hard, good things come out of it. Like, that was,
I would just say, like, for our business, like, when we felt like we were on our last leg, we got creative and found a way to dig out of that hole. And those things still exist today, whether it's, T-shirts or
absolutely. You have to be that way.
daily shows. Like, all of that stuff came from us being forced
Yeah.
to dig deep and come up with a good
I
idea.
told Coach Prime in that sit down I did with him that I don't know if he realizes the proximity to the impact that his daily messages have. I know he puts them out to the world, but there have been a couple times in the 10 months I've been here that things were tough business-wise, and I started to rethink it, and I read like his next morning's message and followed the message and made the world a difference.
Bro, I
like,
love
don't quit.
I love his morning messages, man.
Yep. The amount of stuff you can learn from Coach Prime if you're just listening
Endless.
rather than watching.
Yeah, and just don't be a hater. Just like be objective, open mind. Be like, okay. But when people look at everything he does and they look at it to respond versus look at it to learn.
Yep. All right. There you go. Last pregame show for home game this season.
We will be back post game.
Yes, sir.
And it will be nighttime, but it won't be 2 a.m.
No, I mean, it'll be dark outside.
It will be dark. It's going to be a little nippy, but
It'll be fine, though.
she's saying about 5, 6 p.m.
I say sooner.
Really? All right.
4:30.
Okay.
I have some breaking news.
Breaking news.
Break it.
Our guy, Kurt Dog,
I was just reading this.
has officially been appointed Associate AD for Athletic Communication at the University.
Kurt
of
Dog, Curtis Snyder, my man.
This dude, man, he has been here for a long, long time. He worked under Dave Platty, who held this position for a long, long time. He has earned every bit of it, and I'm being completely honest, and I have no idea if he'll even see this. So I'm not just gassing him up. I'm being completely honest when I say he is the best person I've ever worked with in sports in his position. In the pros, they call it PR. Here they call it SID, or in this case, Associate AD for Athletic Communication, whatever it is. The main point of contact for the media at a program or a franchise, he's the best I've worked with. So super
And
happy
let me
for
throw
him.
me a log on that fire. Is the new guy. Met Curtis last December. My first trip out here, started working with him in January. He has been an absolute pleasure to work with. He is one of those guys, he and Alexis, they find ways for it to happen versus no being the answer. Like when history says don't do it, they find a way that they can make it work if it moves the program, athletics, the administration forward. I nicknamed him Kurt Dog, to which he said, hey, man, that's what my friends call me growing up back home. So Curtis Snyder, a.k.a. Kurt Dog, man, what a guy. I'm like you, man. I'm kind of old school. I say SID. I know that's not the glamorous title, it's associate athletic, whatever it is, but sports information director. Hats off to him, man. Anytime that you see Colorado out there, it comes under his umbrella.
Yep.
And Colorado's out there big time.
He's the best, man. He's the only SID I've had as a reporter so far, and he's made it's super easy to cover this team because of him.
I was going to say, some of those people in those positions make your life harder.
Oh, they're gatekeepers.
He tries to make your life
Yeah, they
easier.
want to prove that I'm not letting you in. I'm not letting you cover this.
I'm not letting you get that interview.
Yeah, versus finding a way for it to happen.
Yep. Just last year, helping to hook us up with Coach Sanford. It's huge.
And then when he can't do something for whatever reason, like you believe him. You know what I mean? Like he's like, hey, look, that's just not going to work. You're not like, oh, my God.
Yep.
You're like, all right, well, it probably really is not going to work.
Yep.
Kurt Dog.
All right. We'll be back tomorrow.
We'll be back
tomorrow
tomorrow
evening chat. Let's go
after
Buffs.
a Buffs win.
Let's hope.
I will be so happy. Let's go.
Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.